Iran's nuclear program takes an unexpected turn, the US deploys extremely dangerous weapons. In June, US President Donald Trump ordered airstrikes on 3 Iranian nuclear facilities, Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan, using B-2 stealth bombers and a guided missile submarine. The United States deployed 14 bunker-busting bombs and dozens of missiles in this strike. President Trump and US officials declared that the targeted facilities had been obliterated. American intelligence agencies are currently monitoring the consequences of the operation. According to Pentagon spokesperson Sean Parnell, the strikes have pushed back Iran's nuclear weapons production capability by nearly 2 years. He stated that not only enriched uranium and centrifuges were destroyed, but also essential components required for producing a nuclear bomb. Washington believes that the attack has significantly weakened both Iran's nuclear capabilities and its ambitions to develop nuclear weapons. However, over the weekend, Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, Rafael Grossi revealed that Iran may resume uranium enrichment within a few months, raising questions about the actual effectiveness of the US airstrikes. Some experts have warned that Iran may have relocated weapons-grade uranium from the Fordow site prior to the attacks and could now be hiding it. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi confirmed that the attack on the Fordow nuclear facility caused serious damage. Nearly 2 weeks after the joint US-Israel strikes, some nuclear non-proliferation experts told ABC News that these attacks could mark a turning point, potentially driving Tehran to pursue a more dangerous and clandestine path toward acquiring nuclear weapons. In response, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian signed into law a suspension of cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA. Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Shah criticized Iran's decision as shocking, accusing the country of completely abandoning its international nuclear obligations and commitments. Some nuclear weapons experts also worry that this move could lead Iran to eventually withdraw from the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, NPT. Billions of dollars invested by the US Department of Defense, the B-21 Raider stealth bomber is being developed as the next strategic spearhead of the US Air Force, intended to replace bombers such as the B-2 Spirit. So what makes the B-21 a worthy successor to the B-2, which played a significant role in the bombing of Iran's nuclear sites on June 21st? Both the B-21 Raider and the B-2 Spirit are flagship aircraft developed by Northrop Grumman. However, the B-21 offers substantial improvements and represents an entirely new generation of capabilities by minimizing radar cross-section. However, the B-21 is more compact, with an estimated wingspan of 39.6 to 42.7 meters compared to the B-2's 52.4 meters. In terms of payload, the B-21 can carry about 9.1 tons, significantly less than the B-2's 18 tons. This design makes the B-21 more agile for missions requiring stealth and rapid deployment. According to the National Security Journal, the B-21 is engineered to penetrate heavily defended airspace and strike any target in the world with aerial refueling support. It will be one of only 2 aircraft authorized to carry the B-61-13 nuclear bomb, which features a higher yield and is designed to destroy fortified underground targets. The B-21 is currently undergoing flight testing at Edwards Air Force Base in California, the only location in the world where all 4 U.S. bomber types, B-52, B-1, B-2 and B-21, are operated. The US Air Force plans to transition to a dual bomber fleet consisting of the B-52 and B-21. US officials believe the recent airstrikes have delayed Iran's nuclear program by up to 2 years, suggesting that the military operation may have achieved its intended objectives, despite more cautious earlier assessments leaked to the media. Pentagon spokesman Sean Parnell presented this estimate at a press briefing but did not provide specific evidence to support it. He stated, "We believe we have degraded their program by 1 to 2 years, at least based on our internal intelligence assessments." Earlier, B-2 bombers from the US Air Force had dropped multiple nearly 14-ton bunker-busting bombs on 2 of Iran's nuclear sites. In addition, more than 20 Tomahawk cruise missiles were launched by US forces to strike another nuclear facility in Tehran. US intelligence on the aftermath of these strikes is being closely followed by the public and analysts alike. After the attacks, President Trump quickly declared that Iran's nuclear program had been obliterated, a statement that Pentagon spokesman Parnell nearly repeated during the July 2nd press briefing. Parnell stated, "All the intelligence we have leads us to believe those facilities in Iran were completely destroyed." However, analysts point out that the US intelligence community typically requires several weeks to make such determinations. Over the weekend, IAEA Director Rafael Grossi stated that Iran might be able to produce enriched uranium again within a few months, raising concerns about how effective the strikes were in truly dismantling Iran's nuclear infrastructure. Some experts also warned that Iran might have moved a portion of its near-weapons-grade enriched uranium from the Fordow facility before the strikes, and is now concealing it. Nevertheless, US Secretary of Defense Pete Hedges said last week that he had no intelligence indicating Iran had moved any highly enriched uranium to alternative locations to protect it from US airstrikes. A preliminary assessment last week by the US Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, indicated that the airstrikes might have only delayed Iran's nuclear program by several months. However, officials from the Trump administration claimed that this assessment lacked credibility. Subsequent US intelligence reports suggested that Iran's nuclear program suffered serious damage. Speaking to CBS News, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi admitted to the initial consequences of the American bombing of the key Fordow nuclear site. He stated that no one knows exactly what happened inside Fordow, but all available evidence so far indicates that the facilities suffered extensive and severe damage. According to Araghchi, Iran's Atomic Energy Organization is currently assessing the damage and will submit a report to the government once completed.